former Massachusetts Senator and Fox News contributor Scott Brown. Senator, good to see you. What about that soundbite that ISIS is asking Allah, please let Donald Trump be president? I don't know how she came up with that, but what's your take?
Well, especially after the failed policies of Obama and Clinton when it comes to this particular issue, obviously not leaving that transition force in Iraq, which used to be Al-Qaeda of Iraq, which is now ISIS, larger than New England, well-funded, well-oiled, ready to go and ready to cause havoc. When Donald Trump gets elected president, it'll be the worst nightmare for ISIS because he has a plan. He will listen to the generals. He will rely on their guidance, and he will not take off the table the fact that we need to have ground forces and other assets to actually do the job right and do it quickly. And this is another continuation, Maria, of President Obama being in another country, or Hillary Clinton or the president speaking to foreign networks and actually belittling and demeaning not only American citizens but our nominee.
So what do you guys think about that? I mean, did any of that come out during the Commander-in-Chief forum the other night? Takeaways?
I thought it was a messy forum for the both of them. It was a tough night. I have a question for Scott Brown, actually. You were talking about Donald Trump's plan to defeat ISIS, which I think is incredibly important. Will that plan include putting American troops in Syria and Iraq? I know we have special forces there, but will that be a ground component in order to defeat ISIS? Because Hillary Clinton has been very staunch that she's not sending ground forces.
Well, with respect to her comments, Morgan, very, very good question. There are already ground forces, upwards of 6,000, and that's why she had to hold a press conference yesterday to clarify her position. She's like, well, we're going to use these ground forces, but not combat ground forces. Listen, they're ground forces that they're doing a mission, not only advising, but obviously they're in a strategic fighting position as well. You can't take anything off the table. You're not only you're softball telegraphing to our enemies what we're going to do, so they can adjust and adapt, but you need to rely on the generals on the ground and their information and guidance, and that's one of the biggest. When Trump said the generals are in rubbles, that's what he was referring to, the fact that as well as I do that they have their hands tied, the rules of engagement are so prohibitive for them doing their job, and the president is given advice and then does virtually the complete opposite. That's what he was referring to, and so he's going to rely on that plan and hopefully execute that plan with clarity and with force.
Yeah, Dagan.
Should he choose another word, though, when you said rubble?
Yeah,
again, that's what people end up fixating on, and then it takes his surrogates, even Governor Pence, to clarify it after the fact.
Sure, of course. Just like Allah wants wants Trump to be president. I mean, that's ridiculous as well. Of course, they don't want. They would love to have actually probably the complete opposite, because they know with this policy that Obama and Kerry and Clinton participating in, that ISIS is still thriving and growing. They're just adjusting and adapting. They're put out here, but they show up in other areas.
Right, and to be clear, a number of President Obama's generals have been rejected. I mean, they have presented plans to the president, and the president has rejected them. So I understand what he was saying, but to say reduced to rubble was probably the wrong wording.
Yeah, he was talking.
James Freeman.
When I heard that, Maria, if I may, I thought that the generals were demoralized in the fact that they are providing great insight and great intel because they are fantastic leaders.
Yeah,
having served for 35
is a lot
years.
more accurate. I agree with you.